Have you ever wondered if your money problems are, well, deeper than just your budget? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating spiritual practice that says there's a direct line between your bank account and your bloodline. It's all about something called ancestor money. And trust me, the ideas behind it might just make you look at your finances in a whole new way.
So, let's just jump right in with a question that our source material throws right at us. Have you offered your ancestors any money lately? I mean, think about it. It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? It suggests our relationship with the people who came before us isn't just about memory. It's an active, ongoing exchange.
All right, so how does this all work? Well, to get it, we have to start with this core concept, which is framed as the ancestral bank account. Yeah, you heard that right. Think of it like making spiritual deposits. So you know how we usually think of offerings, like leaving out some food or maybe lighting a candle. This idea takes it a step further. It says, hey, if you're looking for help with money, then you need to be making financial offerings. It's like you're literally opening a bank account for your entire lineage, and every offering you make is a deposit to build their prosperity, and in turn, yours.
But hold on a second, that brings up a pretty big question, right? Why on earth would spirits need money in the first place? Let's get into the spiritual logic here, because it's really interesting.
The source material puts it this way, and wow, this is a heavy one. Your debt follows you even to the grave. The basic belief is that the financial stuff we deal with in our lives, it doesn't just disappear when we pass on. It can actually carry over. So just picture that for a second. The idea that an ancestor who died with a lot of debt might still be carrying that spiritual weight like a heavy chain. This unresolved money trouble can hold them back over there, and because you're connected, it can hold your whole family line back over here. Okay, let's make this real for a minute. Has this ever happened to you? You are so close to hitting a money goal. You're about to pay off that credit card, or you've finally saved up that down payment, and then bam, out of nowhere, some huge, unexpected bill hits you. The car breaks down, the roof starts leaking. You know the drill. So here's the twist. What if that wasn't just random bad luck? The spiritual explanation here is kind of mind-blowing. It asks, could that sudden money drain actually be an ancestor who's in spiritual debt, and they're basically withdrawing that cash from the family line because they desperately need it? It completely reframes those frustrating setbacks as a potential call for help.
And to make this even clearer, the source uses this really powerful analogy. It's like putting money on their books. You know, if you have a relative who's in prison, you send them money so they can buy things they need and just generally make their situation a little better. This practice sees ancestor offerings in the exact same way. You're sending resources to help them out in the spiritual world.
Okay, so if the ancestors need money, how do you actually, send it to them? Well, that's where this stuff comes in, the actual currency of this spiritual economy, ancestor money. The actual tool for this is called joss paper, or, well, ancestor money. As you can see, it looks a lot like real cash, right? But you don't spend it here. The whole point is to burn it. That act of burning is what's believed to transform it from a physical thing into spiritual energy that your ancestors can actually receive and use.
And get this, it's not just one kind of money. It's like a whole spiritual treasury. You've got these huge bills, you've got ancestor gold, ancestor silver, and there's even a special kind called angelic gold, which is meant for deities, not your direct family. It's a whole system.
And just look at the denominations on these things. We are not talking about a $20 bill. We're talking billions. Billions with a B. The idea here isn't just to chip away at a debt, it's to send such a massive wave of prosperity that it just completely wipes the slate clean and elevates your whole lineage.
So what's all this spiritual cash actually for? Well, part of it is what you guess, paying off any old karmic debts. But it gets even wilder. The source material also suggests it can be used to, let's just say, grease the wheels of the afterlife. It mentions things like bribing the gatekeeper to help them get a better position. It's a very practical, almost transactional view of how that world works.
All right, so we've covered the why and the what. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty, the practical stuff, the ritual itself. How do you actually make one of these offerings? Okay, this next part is super important. Who are you sending this money to? The source is crystal clear on this. It is for your direct bloodline and your direct bloodline only. The people whose names you know, your Grandma Hollis, your Uncle Mayfield. As you can see here, it's not for deities or Orisha or spirit guides like Archangel Michael. This is strictly a family affair.
And the ritual itself? It's broken down into 5 pretty simple steps.
First, you get the joss paper. Then you make it personal. You write the names of the specific ancestors you're sending it to right on the paper. Then you fold it, often in a specific, traditional way. Step 4 is the offering. You burn it in a safe, fireproof container. And you know, step 5 might be the most important. You repeat it. This isn't a one-and-done deal. The source suggests doing it on the regular, like twice a week, to keep that spiritual bank account topped up.
So let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. What this all really is, at its core, is a spiritual transaction. It's all built on this idea of give and take.
It all boils down to the super simple principle. The energy you send out is the energy you get back. If you want spiritual help with your finances, you need to send financial energy to your ancestors. The belief is that by making them spiritually wealthy, you give them the juice, the resources they need to help make you physically wealthy in return.
And honestly, this quote from the source just nails it perfectly. It's so blunt. I love it. If I'm giving them incense, they're giving me more incense. Sometimes I need some more money. It's the ultimate like-for-like logic. If you need help paying your bills, maybe the most effective offering is, well, money.
And we'll leave you with this final thought. This whole practice really pushes you to think about money in a totally different way, not just as paper and coins, but as a form of energy that has its own spiritual life. It leaves us with this really provocative question. If every dollar really does have a purpose, what's its spiritual destination? Definitely something to chew on.